Hi, my name is Jarryd Judd and welcome to the Data Standards Body. In today's video, we're going to explore a new tool and documentation that's been added to the Data Standards Body toolbox. It's called the CDR Test Documentation. The CDR Test Documentation seeks to supply documentation that assists participants in the development of compliant APIs. We've heard feedback from the community that sometimes working through all of the APIs and requirements and defining what's included in terms of the payload, data types, handling things like optional fields, some that are conditional and some are mandatory. How do we go best about approaching these areas? Scenarios are often presented to the different SMEs as part of the Data Standards Body about what happens if one of my mandatory fields is not present. What happens if one of my conditional is not? Or what happens if I do or don't have data for optional fields? This particular test suite seems to explore these particular scenarios. And it's been structured in a way to help you read and work through different areas of the consumer data standards. What I'm going to do today is walk through at a high level the hierarchy and then explore just a few links to give you an example. Now, the way in which we've set this up to help you read and understand what's been put together is we have test suites first, then we have test scenarios, test cases, and then finally we have assertions. Now, using this structure, you can explore all the different examples and you can get a great example and walkthrough of different APIs. What we'll do is we'll explore from the top. So up first, you can see Suite 010 or APIs - the Energy Standing Data Usage and DER. That wraps up a particular test suite. And you can see that suite is 010. Under that, you have a number of test scenarios. Let's take the first one for this example. If you click and hit up the s.ear.073 get service points, quite the mouthful, I know, and you hit that, you get taken down with the anchor to that particular test scenario. Here it then explores, gives an example, using the nomenclature as a data holder, I provide an API which exposes information about the service points, has some additional purpose around it, and some references back into the standards of where this originates from, which is fantastic because it gives you that particular example. Now, as part of this testing sequence that we provide then is two particular tests, one with no paginations and one with pagination. Now, what you can do then is hit that first example, and it now pops open to now give you an example of that particular test case. As you walk through this, you have your negative test case around, again, purpose, references, and execution or preconditions as part of it, execution steps, and then finally some end state assertions, which are fantastic to validate that this case has been completed. Let's take the first one, which is a.cvn.001 validate version for XV. Selecting that again uses the anchor to take you to that part of the documentation, and here it explains the reference of where this comes from, which is the HTTP headers, the severity, is this critical or not, the test fails, and then the assertion logic, and again uses a very similar structure as user stories are put together of the given, when, then. You can explore that and it gives you then a full end-to-end flow right from your test suite all the way to your assertion on the best way to approach and set up tests so you have the best position for your APIs. Now, strong disclaimer for this particular documentation. Following it through and setting it up does not mean you are compliant for the conformance test suite. This puts you in the best position to be aligned with the consumer data standards. Any form of onboarding and accreditation is taken separately and worked through as part of the process with the ACCC. So this does not give you a free pass through or avoid any of that particular work or undertaking or accreditation that you need to do. This is complementary and is to support your ongoing development and building of strong, secure endpoints for your consumers. I hope that's really helped. I hope that's given you an overview. You can check out the link to this. This is below in the description, and you can then go join and be part of it, and then add in any particular test cases that you might want.